right. I think we're live. I guess we're live. I don't know. Oh well. Well, before we get into my blue orb experience, I want to do something here, which has not been done, but it's uh, since I've been down the rabbit holes, which I've referred to in past videos. I kind of want to run through it real quick for people who may be interested in spiritual stuff and maybe if you get stuck in life and you look for a purpose or look for some kind of confirmation that you're doing the right stuff. Um, so I'm going to tell you about my experience a little bit and then uh, what things are called and that because there wasn't this kind of information for me when I first started uh, this journey with the things that I've experienced and coming back and that kind of thing. So um, first off, let's start with your everyday uh, horoscope stuff, right? Your zodiac stuff. So everybody should know what month they were born, and that's kind of easy. I'm not going to tell you where to look, and I'm not going to suggest a certain website or YouTube channel or anything like. You find it on your own if you're interested in that. Um, there's plenty of them out there. So the tarot card things too, and spiritual stuff in a observant and searching kind of mind. There's all kinds of things for guided meditation and that which has been beneficial to me. Um, Getting deeper into my spirituality and self awareness and that kind of thing, which I didn't really understand. Um, so I kind of had to search for someone to really explain to me what I had been through because I didn't know what I experienced, and why, and what was it real, and that kind of thing. So um, I know now what I know, and I know what I've been through is real, and it's not my mind playing tricks on me, and it wasn't drug induced or, I mean, some of it, was. Some of it was what happens when you mix oxycodones and the fentanyl patch together. You kind of lose your mind a little bit. But the things that I experienced that weren't hallucinations and that were real, and because I experienced like the what I'm going to go into in a minute is the blue orb experience was it happened even when I wasn't on medication. So um, up until a certain point, which I'll get into. But the zodiac, and if you want to get to know yourself and uh, and get into it a little bit and just check it out to see if it makes any sense to you, um, I would recommend, because it worked for me, is first start off with the meditation, some kind of a guided meditation if you don't know how to do it. Um, which if you're born in the West, you probably don't know crap about meditation. You might have heard about it, but it's not ever been something on your list to check out. Try it. Try a meditation. Try a guided meditation to kind of get familiar with how to do it and where to go with it. Um, After that, uh, what's next, right? I always want to know what's the next step, and then I would suggest uh, finding out where you lie, what you know what birth, what your birthday is and everything. So I would look up what a star seed is, and it's a spiritual thing. It's not alienistic. I mean, it kind of is, but it's not. They make it seem like you're from a different planet, but it's not. But it does explain. If you're, I think indigo is one, and a blue ray, and then there's another one, and it goes. These are like three or four of them. I don't know. And they're kind of cyclical, I guess. So uh, find out what what uh, what a star seed is for one. Find out what it is, and they'll explain the different kinds and the years. You were born, which one you probably are. So, and that's pretty beneficial, and it's been pretty. It kind of blew my mind because they told me I was a Blu-ray. I'm like, what the hell is a Blu-ray? So I checked it out, and yeah, it's pretty spot on. Uh, it goes even into depth with your family and how you're perceived by your family, or what your reason to be born into that family, and that kind of thing. Uh, and So then when you got that straightened out, you got your zodiac explanation, what whatever, and then you got your star seed kind of explanation. So okay, I'm this from the zodiac, I'm this from the star seed, soul purpose, whatever they want to call it, soul path. Okay, then if you're if you're good at math, this will be fun for you. If you're bad at math, um, you're gonna want to write stuff down. So I would check out. So this is the next step. Uh, Check out what numerology is all about. What your life path is. Uh, what your destiny number is. What your karma number is. That kind of thing. And I'm not going to walk you through it because uh, I I don't want to take the fun out of exploring and finding somebody. Finding a certain uh, person maybe, or a website. There's some websites out there that are pretty awesome that'll help you do stuff, and then you can also find out if you're interested in what your companion, I don't love your love kind of deal, numerology stuff. So you could do that, and it's pretty dead on. For me, it was, and um, if you're single, if you're married, if you're dating somebody, that's cool. It's all good. Um, you 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 can get kind of an idea. So I'd say while you're doing the numerology thing, look into when you're kind of uh, figuring out what synchronicity compared to coincidence really is, and numbers and that kind of thing. I would search uh, for what a soul, a twin flame, or soul mate, kind of thing. What exactly does that mean? And you'll find out there's quite a bit for me when I looked into what a twin flame was, and there's all kinds of uh, YouTube channel videos and website stuff. You could look it up to see, hey, is this your match or not? And uh, for me, I have found my twin flame, and she, you know, she's married and has children and a family, and I don't want to ruin that for her, you know. And when we were young, we had our experience, and it was special, and I don't think either of us will ever forget it. But you have to understand that just because you have a soulmate or a twin flame, it's not something that you exactly have to belong to each other. you're able to realize you can be apart from each other, but you're still there. No matter what, it's always there. Um, yeah, it just happens that we were both each other's first loves, so it's going to be hard to forget that. But it's not about that. It really is not. I mean, it was fun and it was wonderful, and we learned a lot from each other. And oh, long story short, we will always be friends. You know, uh, she's hurt me. I've hurt her probably, and we really didn't mean to. But it happened, and so that's put aside. We understand that we have a connection that's it's unbreakable because maybe a soul contractor was involved or something. Who knows? Um, Also, so when you get into the numerology and you find out what you are, who you are, and that kind of thing, and then you uh, find out, you know, what a twin, if you found your twin flame or not, you don't know, but maybe you did, maybe you have, maybe just somebody you just can't get over really isn't your twin flame. It could be somebody else, So uh, that was kind of weird for me to understand that, but and it was hard too because you know I didn't I didn't want to mess up somebody else's life by you know throwing all this, you know. So uh, I stay on my lane and I let my twin flame know, hey, I'm here if you ever need a friend, So I can't wipe out a future scenario if things don't work out, but I'm not gonna cheer for it, and I'm not gonna push on it to make it happen. That's not my place. So um, there we are. And so if you're really into the horoscope and the numerology kind of thing, and you're just kind of curious, um, check out a tarot card deal. But I I don't like uh, a general like when they do a tarot thing on YouTube because they do a thing for the general public. It's kind of broad and it's far-reaching. And sometimes there's a person I found one uh, who I will listen to, and she's real, and she'll say, hey, if this doesn't resonate with you, then kick rocks. Not for you, so whatever, no big deal. But uh, you know, so far, I think 3 out of 5 times she's on the ball, and sometimes it's not, so. Uh, but I don't listen to her whole video if it doesn't start to make sense, you know, then I don't need to listen to it. I'll go do something else. Uh, but 3 out of 5 is pretty good, compared to 1 to 5 or 1 to 10. I don't want to listen to somebody telling me about somebody's life and it doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't affect me. So uh, anyways, so if you get into the spiritual stuff, that's a start. That's the start. That's the blind spot welcome package. I think it'll benefit you. And even if you're not really a spiritual person, you know, and you're heavily religious and whatever religion you practice, I still think it's worth a shot to check out. It's just because the synchronicity of things. uh, sometimes make your life a little bit more understandable, you know, so you kind of have an idea, maybe it's nonsense, you know, but maybe it's something that you can use. It might make sense, and you know, I give up religion because it doesn't matter. God doesn't care. Allah, you know, whatever you want to call it, the creator, source, whatever you want to call it, the one. It, he, she, it doesn't matter how you come to it, how you believe in it, as long as you do. You know, God, the creator, whatever, doesn't care what religion you have, what 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 uh, what church you go to or whatever, well, how many times you practice your thing or whatever, or what what traditions you follow, what foods you do or not do not eat. That they don't. It doesn't care about that. What it cares about how you get to it, how you believe it, how you become a believer in it. That's all it cares about, and that you love it, and that you know it loves you. That's all it gives a shit about. Anyway, all right. So my blue orb experience. Okay, so when I came back from my near-death experience, uh, it it yeah, after a while, I mean, I would see all kinds of stuff um, that I wasn't, blind people, don't see. But I had sight before the incident, and it was just memorable, faded memories, kind of glimpses of stuff. So like when my mom or my dad would talk to me, I could vision their face. I could see their lips moving and their eyes blinking, as they were talking to me, because that's where my imagination went. But if it was a stranger, like a doctor or a nurse or whatever, it was just a blink. It was I could see a form. I could mental visionly knock knock. I could envision a form, a female form or a male form, but it was just a silhouette. It wasn't a face. And then when I came home, um, and I kind of was able to kind of focus a little bit, um, because they they knocked my pain meds down from where they were, uh, because my dad was kind of worried. I was always talking to myself like I do now. I still talk to myself. Um, but it's because I have an idea, and I know I'm not just talking to myself anymore. So, um, all right, we get into it. So one day, out of nowhere, this blue circle, orb, circle, ball, you know, try to explain the color. Um, it was it was a light blue, like a baby blue, kind of, I guess, a little bit brighter than sky blue, but not green. And it just sat in front of me one day. I'm listening to the TV. Me and my dad were listening to Discovery Channel or something like that, and I think it was about Machu Picchu. And all of a sudden, this blue ball, with like a flames on it, like kind of like the sun has the the flares and stuff, kind of like that. But it would spin. It was spinning and it wouldn't really move very much. It just sat there. And I think it was trying to get me to talk to say something to like initiate uh, notice of it, like hey, I'm here, say something. And I don't know, I didn't know what it was. I thought it was just the drugs, or something. I was like, maybe like, Dad, did you give me some more medication than I would. And he's like, no, I haven't given you medication in like 6 hours. You hungry yet? That. And I'm like, okay. And I didn't say nothing to nobody. And then uh, I was on, yeah, it was there. It was always there. And it would move around a little bit, but not very much from in front of me. And if I move my head to the left or to the right, and I'm blind, right? So by this time I'm completely blind, and I move my head to the left or to the right, and it's still in front of me. It doesn't. It's like it's stuck to me. It's stuck to my eyes, and so I started going out into the garage, and listen to music and get out the house a little bit and go in the garage. My dad would open up the garage door, and I'd sit out there, listen to music, and have soda pop, and it would still be there. And so I'm by myself, you know, and I finally just said, you know what are you? What are you? You know, what are you doing? Why are you here? What's I didn't know if it was real. It didn't talk to me or nothing. And finally, uh, my body got goosebumps from my head to my toes, and it disappeared. And where the hell did? And it was like the first time it disappeared in like 6 days. Since it was like about a week or so. Every time when I woke up till the time I went to sleep, it was there. So I just thought it was my eyes doing something, you know. Uh, and then it just disappeared. And from then on, it would come back, but it wouldn't just sit in front of my face. It would float around, from left to right, from right to left, up and down. It would just go all over the place, and it would zoom in and zoom out, and unless I said something to it, it wouldn't come back. It wouldn't come back to where, like, front, right in front of my face. It wouldn't come back unless I said something to it. So I thought it scared it away when I said, What are you? What are you doing?" It just disappeared, and I was like, "Oh crap! What was it?" And then it never answered me. So I'm like, "What the hell?" And my uncle and my aunt came to visit, and they're, uh, devout Christian, and I talked to my uncle and my aunt. Joey, that might be the Holy Spirit. Okay. Well, I didn't think anybody would believe me, but I figured, maybe, you know, they would understand. Maybe I didn't want to talk to my dad about it because he didn't like talking about religion or anything. He didn't like talking about God. He didn't like to, he was raised Catholic, and he was one of the victims, if you want to call it that, back in the day. So he doesn't want to talk about stuff like that. Um, but yeah, so one day, me and my uncle were talking about something, and all of a sudden the blue ball came back, and it was there, and I said, "Hey, Unc, uh, it's back." He said, "What, the Holy Spirit thing, the blue thing?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, what does it want?" And it says it wants me to do something. And I couldn't, I mean, it wasn't talking to me, but I knew it was I knew it was wanting me to do. I don't know how I do that. It was in my head, and I said, it wants me to write something down. Can you help me write it down? And he said, yeah, okay. And he went and grabbed a piece of paper and a pen or whatever, and uh, I started like it was weird because it was like a instead of a voice, it was just a typing. So like when you're typing in an email or a text message, it was kind of like that. I could see the letters, and they weren't, they weren't. They were some kind of font I never saw before. When I could see, wasn't like italic, or it was weird. It looked a lot. I don't know. It looked ancient to me. I don't know. And so I don't know if it was messing with me or what, but it looked poetic, kind of like an old, you know, script, this kind of thing. And I was like, all right, cool. And so I just would read them word for word what it was writing, and when it was done, and it went away. And he kept that writing, and then when I was able to start doing computer stuff again, I had him send it to me, and I copied it and pasted it, and I still have it. And I called it uh, "Message from the Holy Spirit," but I erased the Holy Spirit part and just it's just the holy. I call it now the Holy Message, and maybe someday I'll play it for you guys to listen to. But it was about God, and it was a message, like we as society, as spiritual beings, humanity, were writing a letter to God. But it was about, kind of a Christian feel to it, you know, because that was kind of my faith. I mean, it still is. I still believe Jesus was a enlightened person. I also believe Buddha was, and Muhammad. You know, I believe Moses was an enlightened being. I believe a lot of things. I believe we don't know a lot of things, and I don't think we're supposed to, because that's not what faith is. Faith is believing without seeing. And I can't see a lot of things, but I know they're there. You know, when I go to the bathroom and I sit down, I have faith that the toilet's going to be there. You know, or if I get in the shower, I have faith my shampoo and conditioner and soap and are in the same spot I left them. I have a roommate, and he always moves stuff around. Like, hey, mofo, quit moving stuff around. Anyway, so the blue orb. Okay, I went to church one time, and the blue orb didn't show up, not even once. Uh, you know, so I'm gonna make this short. But the blue orb to me, I don't know what it is, but I know one day because I was when my dad passed away 10 months after I got shot. So um, I was very angry at God because I needed more time. And I told God, I need him more than you do. But I don't know all this stuff, right? I didn't during my NDE experience, I didn't get answers like a lot of people say they do. So um, I I didn't get a lot of uh, I didn't get to ask a lot of questions. I didn't get to ask I didn't get any, anyways. So when I would talk to my dad about the blue orb, he would like, yeah, whatever, and he wouldn't want to hear it. So uh, I just want to know what it was, and I wish I would have known somebody who I could trust and to look on the internet and see, because there's a bunch of stuff, and somebody would have looked it up, I would have had answers, and I would have known what to do with it. I didn't know, and so it wasn't the Holy Spirit. It was it the Spirit? Sure, probably. What what kind of spirit? I don't know, but it wasn't a bad one. Um, it didn't talk to me, but twice in a year. So when my dad passed away, I was so angry. I think that messed up my frequency. But I was on the medication anymore, and I was still, still seeing it, And then one day I just got angry, and I said, I needed it more than you. I needed my dad more than you. Why did you take him from me? And I was so angry. And the next day, I'm I'm in my room and just listening to the TV, and the TV uh, went to a signal update, the Dish Network thing, where it does wants to download stuff or whatever late at night, and I got the blue ball, and it started to kind of fade, I think, and I went to like a white color from a bright blue neon color to it started to go pale, fuzzy, into like white, and uh, I said, "What's going on?" And uh, and it didn't say nothing at first, and I said, "All right, well, if you don't tell me what's going on, I'm going to sleep." And it said, um, "I'm getting goosebumps." It said, "You may not see me anymore," and it wasn't a voice; it was like my voice in my head. When you think out loud in your head, he said, "You may not see me anymore from now on, but remember, I'm always going to be with you." And then it went, shoo, and it's gone. And I haven't seen it since. Now, when I started to meditate about 2 years ago, um, I had an experience, and I didn't get the blue ball back, but the blue ball turned into a humanoid. It was shaped like a person, but it was blue, like the same color blue. And I gave it a hug, and I said, I missed you," and I knew it was the same thing. It was the same. It transformed into a person. It didn't have eyes or a smile, or it was just a head and torso and arms and legs. And that's about it. No hair, and I couldn't look at its face to see if there was eyes in that, because there wasn't one. There wasn't a face. It was just blue. So, and that was cool. I got to tell it thank you, and I missed, but I've been wanting to have the ball back, the orb, but it won't do it. It won't come back. I don't know why. If my frequency is not there anymore, or you know, it just wanted me to know it was there, and uh, during my kind of recovery from being shot, that it was there, and I wasn't alone when there was nobody with me, in the hospital and everything. It was there, and something was there. I wasn't by myself. Something, I don't know, but that's my blue orb experience. And I didn't. It wasn't an alien. Eh, um, you know, I'm blind. I shouldn't be seeing anything. But even when I was off the medication, it was still there. So I knew it was real. And I think even when uh, you don't see the orb, whatever your color may be. Well, I don't know. Maybe they're all blue. Who knows? But if I would have saw more than one different colored one, then I would know there's more than one color one. But maybe there's a purple one or a pink one, like they say, purple, whatever. But I don't know. I only saw the blue one, the light blue, a neon kind of blue, and I know it was real because I that's too kind of a big of a story for me to even kind of make up. I'm a pretty creative person, but the to have that thing going on and on and on for almost 2 years is you know every day. I'm not a mentally psychotic or whatever they call that, psychopathic. I, I don't uh, I don't have those tendencies. So um, have I lied before? Yeah, we all do. But I don't lie well enough to believe them myself. You know, I always get caught too. So when I lie, um, I'm not very good at it, which is weird because I can create some pretty great stuff. I just can't make someone believe it's real if it wasn't. All right, well, I don't think anybody's here because it's late at night. My phone keeps blowing up, so um, I'm gonna get off here. And I hope this was educational and inspirational. And one more thing to make it a funny, like I promised in the description. Um, I heard, I've heard from a long time that like weapons, weapons like uh, you want to hurt if you want to hurt somebody with a weapon, you want it to be sharp and but I heard that dull weapons and rusty weapons, they hurt more and they cause a lot more damage. So when I decided the next time I have to defend myself from somebody attacking me, I'm going to defend myself with my love life because that's pretty dull and rusty. Do. All right. God bless. Namaste. Thank you.